my field of practice, where we constantly sing of fixing the gut and trying to make sure that your gut environment is in order so that you avoid most chronic conditions, I encounter a lot of questions, and I thought again today I should take time to answer some of your questions regarding digestion. You've talked about digestion before. However, this is specifically intended to talk about the speed of consuming food. When you consume food at a high rate or faster, do you get the nutritional benefit from this food, or are there things that you'll actually miss out on this? So sit back and enjoy this one. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the speed at which you're taking in food. Now, understand there's so many people who are basically they're always in a hurry to clear the plate. That is a problem because there's a reason why you have the teeth. There's a reason why you need to break down food into small particles, that tough fiber, break it down slowly so that you can actually ease up on the process of digestion. So as you masticate, as you break down that food particle in a hurry, you will not be able to break them down adequately. So you will not have the larger surface area under which the digestive enzymes from the stomach downwards are supposed to actually act on that food. Number two, you will have these larger particles getting into the gut, and they'll be difficult for you to actually digest. Now, therefore, the speed has to be moderate. Enjoy the food and do not listen to music or do not be on your phone when you're eating. Simply concentrate and respect that dinner table. Sit there, enjoy, chew in a speed that is moderate so that you can actually get to break down all the fiber adequately. And this food is going down into the stomach. You will make it easier for the stomach to actually mix it with digestive juices and the HCl in the stomach, because that HCl is going to help you digest more of the protein. So as you break it down through the teeth, you're actually making it easier for even the proteases to actually act on this food. So speed is very necessary. And again, remember, most of us, as we eat faster, we're just in a hurry to live. That food is not digested adequately because the particles are larger and there's a struggle for your gut to actually break it down. So, and again, before I even get deeper, when you're constantly taking this food every after 2 hours, what is happening is you're rushing the food to move from the stomach into the small intestines. Now understand that in your stomach you're supposed to actually digest these proteins so that the rest or the larger molecules of proteins are actually broken down, and then the rest of it, the polypeptides, are pushed into the small intestine where they encounter the pancreatic enzymes to start the digestive process. But look at us. We eat every after 2 hours. So before we even mix this food adequately in the stomach, we're already pumping it into the small intestines. That is us overworking the pancreas, because as the food is coming from the stomach into the small intestine, it is actually coming in acidic. It's carrying all the acids that is in the stomach into the small intestines. And remember, the microorganisms and also the enzymes that act on food in the small intestines are microorganisms or are enzymes that work optimally under a pH that is alkaline. That's why we have the pancreas. And this pancreas is the one that actually gives us the bicarbonates to actually neutralize the stomach pH so that the food that is coming into the small intestine has a higher pH for that matter, so a basic pH. So that these enzymes that are coming in are working optimally under that environment. Now, so as you eat the food faster and you pump it into the small intestine, you're actually pushing a lot of acids into the small intestine. And that is you overworking your pancreas. So you start straining the pancreas again. Also, remember, you're destroying the microorganisms that actually inhabit this environment because of the acids that are coming in all the time. Remember, you're causing a lot of inflammation into the small intestines. And that's how we end up having the SIBOs. We end up having the inflammatory bowel syndrome, and you start wondering how. But it's because we are eating all the time and we are in a hurry to actually fill the stomach. Before we even digest it, we are filling it again. That is a problem. So speed and frequency have to be very, very important. And that's the reason why we fast. That's the reason why we actually take 6 to 8 hours before a meal. Because remember, for you to digest food and absorb it and then send it into the liver for further processing, you need about 6 to 8 hours or so. So by the time you're getting energy from this food that you've just eaten now, you need about 6 hours or so. And that begs a question: how is it possible that most of you will say you're hungry now, and then when you eat, you're so energetic? Immediately after eating, you're so energetic. So where did you get that energy from? Yet you need about 6 hours to digest it, absorb it, and send it into the liver for further processing. Doesn't make sense at all. So therefore, that's just a mindset. That's why I always tell you, Hunger is a mindset, it's not an empty stomach. Okay, some of you are already at the insulin resistance stage where the body just wants to feed all the time. You need to undo that, okay? Now, then another question that comes in all the time is about water. Should we take water before or after a meal? How much water should we take in a day? Is there any importance of taking water? And of course, there are a lot of importances of taking water. And I've always told you that before you drink that water, either you lick some salt or you add a pinch of salt in your drinking water. The reason is this stomach wall has a layer of bicarbonate and has a layer of mucus to protect it against this hydrochloric acid. Now remember, this wall, mucus that is lining this wall is basically 95% water. So therefore, as you take in the water, you're actually protecting this wall. And that's why people who have ulcers, people who have H. pylori, your number one therapy, apart from dropping the inflammatory foods, has to be to take in water. And you add some salt, because salt will send the water into the cells, and that will keep you hydrated more. So you need that. Now, so as you reduce the amount of water that you're taking, you're actually altering the integrity of this stomach wall. Therefore, you start to expose this stomach wall to the acid, and therefore the acid will burn it, causing you the wounds, gastritis, and the ulcers. So water is very important. Also, water has a very important role in this. The food that is coming into the stomach, the water is the one that actually helps in dilution. So it makes it soluble so that the gastric enzymes can act on it easily. But again, water is the one that will carry waste material from the liver into the stomach, into the gut for excretion. Also, water will carry waste material all the way in the gut for you to excrete it. So water is very important in this particular process. So you need to actually take in water. But what time then should we take water? The best time to take water is 30 minutes before a meal. Why? When you take in water, you start to prepare your gut. 30 minutes before a meal, you start to prepare your gut to produce gastric juices and those enzymes to help you in digestion. That is one. Then, after you've eaten, do not take water as you're eating, because you start just washing out all these things. You start pouring them in front. You push them into the small intestines faster. So what you do, 30 minutes before a meal, you take your water, maybe 2 glasses of water plus some salt, and then you enjoy your meal 30 minutes later, and then you stick around for about 1 hour and 1 hour and a half, maximum of 2 hours, so that you can actually take more water. And the reason that is because you don't want to dilute the gastric enzymes more and the juices more. You don't even want to dilute the HCl, and that will affect your protein digestion. So water has to be taken 30 minutes before a meal, and then an hour or 2 hours after, or before 30 minutes and then after an hour or 2. And that is what needs to be done. Now, as we talked about the speed, we said the more you are taking these foods faster through the gut, you're actually affecting the vitamins and the nutrients absorption. This is the reason why most people are actually having iron deficiency anemia, people are having malabsorption, people are having malnutrition, and they're wondering, how is this coming to happen? It's because you're eating so much, and you're eating at a faster rate and a higher frequency. Therefore, before you digest and absorb the minerals, before you liberate these minerals and vitamins from these foods, you're actually pushing them forward. And that is a problem. Also, as you do that, you're going to overload the microorganisms here that are supposed to help you to digest fiber. Once you overload them, constipation is actually looming. Therefore, that constipation that you're actually suffering from is because of the frequency of how you're eating. And also, it's because of the types of food that you're eating. If you have constipation, please, it's time for you to reduce the amount of fiber that you're taking in, so that you actually starve these microorganisms in the large intestines, and then they'll start helping in digestion of food. So incomplete digestion that is happening as you push this food forward is one of the reasons why you're having constipation, and that's the reason why you're having vitamin and nutrient deficiencies. So you need to change that. And this will actually affect a lot of things in your system. You will have very low energy, therefore no motivation to do work or to go out and work out. You'll have very low sex drive, because zinc and magnesium are actually coming in and being flagged out instantly. So when you're having these mental health issues, you're depressed, you're having all these skin problems, you're having all these low sex drive, and you're having a lot of sleep problems, it's because of indigestion, a messed up gut. So once you do that, when you get into this level, that means now we'll have to give you supplements. Of course, for the low sex drive, we'll have to give you zinc supplements. Of course, for lack of sleep and the depression and anxiety, we'll have to give you magnesium supplements. So you see, you can easily avoid the cost, the commercial aspect of actually buying supplements by just taking your time to eat healthy and digest the food appropriately. So you need this information. Now, above all, I've just told you the functions of water. Water will dissolve the nutrients, water will ease up on digestion, water will ease up on constipation, water will enhance digestive enzymes, and water will actually push out waste products from the gut outside. So water is very important, but how you take it also matters, because we've said 30 minutes before a meal and then an hour or two after the meal, so that you actually get the benefits from the water and you also do not affect the digestive processes. And then how much of water should we take? That's a good question. However, the body is very intelligent. That's why it gives you thirst. That's why the body sends you into thirst. Now, of course, if you're not working in the sun and doing all this heavy activity that help you lose a lot of water from the system through sweating, through urination and all that, it's always important to just wait until the thirst comes in. Okay, not unless you just want to hydrate adequately. So you just take water plus salt. But it's not necessary that you simply take 2 liters of water or 8 glasses of water every day. I don't know where that myth came from, because the body cannot let you suffer from dehydration. It will send you into thirst so that you can actually bring in water. Now the problem is, most of you carry 2 liters of water to work and you're busy sipping it. You're busy sipping it every time, but you've not added in salt. So that is you dehydrating yourself, because you'll simply go out, after 30 minutes of drinking that water, you'll go out and urinate. And you'll urinate a very clear fluid, very clear urine. And that is you flushing out sodium. So basically that is you getting dehydrated. So most of you get dehydrated for drinking water. You drink water, but you still have very bad skin, you still have very low energy, you still have very low sex drive, and you still get dehydrated. You can't even digest food adequately, because the water that you've just taken in has actually gone out. It did not go into the cells to help you in hydration. So therefore, anytime you're taking water, please add salt. It's very important. And salt is sodium, chloride, and iodine, mostly sodium and chloride. So when I'm talking about salt, I'm talking about the table salt that has sodium and chloride, I'm talking about the Himalayan salt that has more minerals, I'm talking about Celtic salt, I'm talking about the sea salt. All those are types of salts, but the difference is the mineral composition of that, okay? So that is exactly what you should do. And then people who are diagnosed with diabetes, or people who are already on therapy for diabetes, they experience a lot of problems at night. They are constantly urinating at night, because diabetes causes you to have that polyuria as a side effect or as a symptom. So before the diagnosis or after the diagnosis, even on therapy, they still go to the toilet about 4 to 5 times at night. So how do you avoid this? Number one, of course, change the kitchen so that diabetes disappears. But as you're doing that, before you go to bed, before you take that water that you take before heading to bed, you simply have to add in salt, because when you lick salt and then drink water, this will help you not to go to the toilet every time. So this will actually help you in improving sleep. So you will not lack sleep just because you want to go to the toilet and urinate at night. So I think this should be noted with people who are diabetic or who have been diagnosed with diabetes. And as you fix diabetes, all these problems of urination will go. All that bedwetting will disappear. So I thought you should know this. These are the basics of digestion, and you should actually get them clear.